so nice to meet you.
You too. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. I'm sorry I was having hearing issues at the beginning, but welcome, and I really appreciate your time. I know it is very valuable because you are a busy young woman. Not only have I been enjoying watching you on the way home, and congratulations on that. I know it just got picked up for season 2.
Yes, thank you.
You must be over the moon about that.
I am.
It's a really exciting series because, especially for you, because you are in 2 places.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that in just a minute, but also you have a lot of things going on at Netflix as well. So you are you must be just over the moon, like I said.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting year.
Yeah. Have you gotten a chance to catch your breath?
Yeah, honestly, like we finished filming and the series came out, and I feel like, it's one of those things where there's kind of this like nervous excitement as things are released into the world, but um it's ultimately like been such a positive experience. I feel like I've kind of settled into like the rhythm of, the episodes coming out once a week and not getting too nervous anymore. It's been really nice.
Good for you. Congratulations. Well, I am a trained actress too, so I wanted to say that I noticed that you, being Canadian, that you went to formal acting school, and I want to say hey for that, because I shout out to the old acting buds on put their feet on the board, so had to give a shout out to that. And you're actually just across the bridge from me. I'm in Buffalo, so anyways, I guess not anymore. Where do you guys film out of?
We film in Toronto.
Oh, so you do.
Yeah.
So you're local then. That's good.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the show. I wanted to ask you how you feel about that, playing on 2 levels there. You're balancing 2 storylines, and I know that must be exciting, but that's a lot of work. You're doing double the duty of everyone else. So how's that been working for you?
It's been, a really fun challenge to try and hold on to all the details and track the emotional journey between the 2 timelines. And then on top of that, we are filming 2 episodes at a time and then filming the scenes out of order. So it took a lot of brain power to just remember, okay, where am I coming from? What do I know already? And then on top of that, when you're in the present, you have all this knowledge from the past, but you're keeping a lot of secrets because Alice wasn't really ready to go to her mom and say, like, I've been time traveling. Do you remember me? I'm your friend Alice. It just wasn't
Right.
the what she was doing. So it was this kind of thing where even if I knew something, I couldn't act like I knew it, or it's very layered. And so in a lot of ways, it was a team effort because the creators and showrunners were really holding on to those details for the entire story. And then they were really great resources for the individual actors and characters to go to them and say, okay, this detail, I'm like, what's the significance and all this stuff. And then on top of that, Elliot, who is both in the past as teen Elliot and the present as, Elliot, and
Right.
his friend to Cat Landry, and potentially more. He takes on kind of like a confidant role in both timelines. Alice goes to him in the past because she doesn't know what to do or how to get back home, and so she tells him that she has time traveled, and then in the present she's able to go to him and talk to him about what she has been finding, what she's been going through. And so that narrative exists inside of the show, but in a lot of ways Evan and I would go to each other about those details. He has a really computer like brain. He can really hold a lot of that kind of stuff, and I'm I was always going to him being like, why are we talking about this now? Or like, what's going on in this? Like, so the relationship on camera was kind of emulated off camera, and in the kind of like information sharing and like detail tracking department. But yeah, it was a great challenge. I'm really excited to see, what that will look like for the next season, how much time Alice will spend in the present versus the past, and we'll see where we go. Or I suppose the future. We don't really know what's going to happen with the pond.
No, that's really exciting. And you actually intuited my next question was how much do the writers and the showrunners help you in that process? Because I can imagine that's a lot to carry with the story arcs and having to, and then you said how many episodes you're filming in a week. That's a lot of work. So I'm glad to know they partnered with you on that. And that is a lot to look forward to as well in the next season. And you guys have us hanging a little bit.
Yeah, it's really a cliffhanger there. Yeah, I think, there's so many things that we haven't explored yet in this season. Like, who knows about the pond? Does Del know about the pond? Does Colton know about the pond? We saw Elliot try and jump into the pond in, I think it was episode 1 or 2, and he couldn't get through. But no doubt he's dying to try it. He's obsessed with time travel. And there's, if Finn the dog could time travel, what are the other possibilities? And even just the fact that Alice was she, in the last episode, we find out that she time traveled back to the beginning of the season and like mailed this letter that started this whole process in the first place. What kind of things could you go and like interfere with, or what things have happened in season 1 that we don't know are actually because of the interference of the characters in season 2? And I'm not privy to those details yet. I think that's more of like a the writers and those folks who are kind of more on the creative team who have an understanding of the Easter eggs they're leaving along the way. But yeah, their brains are just, every time I thought something was going to happen, it came true and opened like 1,000 more doors. And that was the part I couldn't expect. And we were getting our scripts 2 at a time. So we, in some ways, had the experience that the audience was having in watching in order, because, when we were filming episode 1 and 2, I didn't know that Alice, was going to be there on the day that Jacob disappeared. I didn't know that Kat was going to end up in the pond. I didn't know any of these details that, like, we're watching along with viewers and their minds are exploding, and like I can't even begin to express how like what it was like on set when we would get those scripts, and Chyler and I would be like texting each other and like, oh my god, you go in the pond too, what the heck?
Right. I can only imagine how cool that was. Well, you've been really generous with your time, and I want to thank you on behalf of FSM Media, for whom I am here. And I just have one last question for you. You are in this show with some real, icons, really, and I'm sure that they have been able to, share with you. And do you feel shepherded? Are they helping you as a young woman? I mean, this has got to be your first like foray into a full series, and you've gotten renewed. How do you feel sharing this limelight with them?
Yeah, it's been a really wonderful experience. I think, the nature of the story being multi-generational, and that is reflected in the cast in real life too, has just been a really great experience in terms of having people that I look up to becoming my close colleagues and friends. So they're there for me every step of the way, every question, every like exciting moment and all that stuff. But and then I also feel like they take me really seriously as a scene partner, and that's been really special too, to just be acting like with someone who is bringing so much experience and so much talent, and yeah, it's been so exciting. And I text Chyler about like all kinds of random questions I have. We got a text saying we're greenlit, and I texted her, I'm like, what does that mean? She's like, we got a season 2. I was like, oh my god. So anyway, I feel like that little story kind of just is a good representation of what it's been like to work with people who are so experienced and then also so generous.
That's wonderful, because you deserve it. You absolutely hold your own with them, and you just absolutely are worthy of being on the show, and you are a true light on it. And I've enjoyed watching you and can't wait to see you on season 2. And again, really do thank you for your time today. You've been very generous.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Thank you.